Welcome to another edition of Let's Play WCW 2000. We are 2 weeks away from the Night of the Legends, which is WCW's next pay-per-view, where we honor this year's class of the WCW Hall of Fame, and this is the first class since 1994, which was the last time the WCW had a Hall of Fame class. But also, in 2 weeks' time, on February 28th, you will see Ric Flair, Scott Steiner for the WCW World Heavyweight title. Harlem Heat versus the Outsiders. Diamond Dallas Page versus Randy Savage. And it's very likely that you will see Road Warrior Animal versus Double J Jeff Jarrett. Plus, a lot more coming this 2 weeks from tonight. 2 weeks from last night, actually. But either way, we kick off the broadcast tonight with a couple pre-show matches, as the Blue Bloods face the Mamalukes in a pre-show match with Steven Regal and Dave Taylor getting the big win. And then we move forward as Evan Courageous gets a win against Nate Madsen in the second pre-show match of the night, live from the Mid-South Coliseum. And third, Terry Funk faces Low Key in the third and final pre-show match of the night. Go figure how Low Key could actually sustain an injury called the flu, because last time I checked, you can't get the flu, I don't know, in a wrestling match. If anything, he would be diagnosed with it before the match. Sucks to be Low Key, though, because... Thank you, Warren, I can read. It sucks to be Low Key, though, because this was his first match in a while, and now he's likely on the shelf, at least for a week, because of the flu. Alrighty. But either way, we kick off Raw. God, what's wrong with me today? We kick off Nitro. It's WCW, not WWE. We kick off Nitro with the members of NWO 2000 as they are pissed off at Terry Funk because in 2 weeks' time, actually in about 13 days, Scott Steiner will be facing the Nature Boy Ric Flair one-on-one for the WCW World title due to the ending of Super Brawl's 8-man tag team match, which saw Ric Flair get the win over Scott Hall in the 8-man tag match last night at Super Brawl, which means that because Flair got the win in the match, he will go one-on-one against Steiner at Night of the Legends for the WCW World title. And of course, the NWO may be complaining, but that draws Flair to the ring to go face to face with the NWO, as the NWO is in the ring and Flair is on the stage. And Flair talks about how he won fair and square, and that, yes, about a month ago, Scott Steiner took him out of action for a couple weeks, just to lighten the load as far as competition. But he's not going to be able to do it again, because come Night of the Legends, it will be the 13th or 14th title reign for the Nature Boy. Now we move to the next match, the first match, I should say, on the actual show, that is, between Sorry, I just had to fix the microphone. Between the Cruiserweight champion, Juventud Guerrera, and the challenger, Chavo Guerrero. See, the WCW Championship Committee made the decision to do it like this because of the fact that since the end of January, since about Mayhem, the Cruiserweight title picture has been basically Chavo and Juvi, and they wanted to try and figure out if in fact it is worth it to keep it up. And basically how they figured that is if Chavo won, he would get his rematch against Juvi, and if Juvi won, Juvi would get a new challenger. But Chavo Guerrero won, and that means that this Thursday night on Thunder, you will see one last time, Juventud Guerrera versus Chavo Guerrero for the WCW Cruiserweight title in a gimmick match. You know what? I'll tell you. The world's Cruiserweight title will be on the line in a ladder match. Why? Simple. Thunder needs ratings, and putting forth a ladder match between two of the top cruiserweights in the company is probably a good way to get ratings. In my opinion. That is if, people actually care about the Cruiserweight division. But I think they care about the Cruiserweight division more than the television title picture, so that's good. But either way, we move to the next match. Vampiro up against Ice Train. Ice Train, not Iced Train. No. I'm not going to call him Ice Train. Vampiro up against Ice Train, and Vampiro gets the victory, as Vampiro is now stringing a couple of wins together on in consistent weeks and he's on somewhat of a winning streak thus far. Now, the only title match tonight, I believe, as the Filthy Animals defend their newly won tag team titles against the former champions, the Varsity Club, as the Animals beat the Varsity Club last night at Super Brawl, and Kidman and Mysterio retain the WCW World Tag Team titles against the Varsity Club of Rotunda and Steiner. I'm just gonna say this. If you actually watched WCW in 2000, number one, God bless you. God bless you for actually doing it. But if you remember, Rick Steiner actually became a single superstar in 2000 for the first time that I can remember, and he was actually somewhat pushed. United States Championship, TV title, etc. Or is that 1999? Either way, whatever. Point is, he was back in the singles title picture in 2000, also teaming up with Tank Abbott for a bit, but point is, by this time in real life, Mike Rotunda actually went back to Japan and was not in the WCW by the end of WCW. I only know this because this is not the first time that I did WCW 2000. Let's leave it at that. Or WCW in this period, because I think I originally did WCW 1999. But that was writing before, and that was before TEW. But if you guys want to see it, let me know down in the comment section. I can put it on the site and link it in the videos. But either way, back to the show, after getting sidetracked. Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman get interviewed by Gene Okerlund post-match, basically asking the champs, what's next for the champs? And they say they'll accept challengers. They'll accept any challenge because they want to be fighting champions to prove that even though they might be former cruiserweight champions and not as big as others, as everyone else, they want to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they're just as good as everyone else. Now we move forward. Scotty Steiner up against Jim Duggan. basically, letting Scotty release some negative energy and take out some frustrations. Yes, why did you put him against Jim Duggan? Jim's in a feud. Honestly, that feud's going to come to a head at Thunder, and it will end, but it's basically over. That's why I can say Duggan, that's why I did the match. But now to this segment, random segment seemingly with Conan. You remember, since I don't remember exactly when Conan came out with his rap video, either this is his first rap video or his second rap video. But yes, in some way, shape, or form, his feud with Kanyon will be tied into this rap video. But this is just the start for Conan and using his gimmick as a rapper in a serious light. Now we move forward. See, I know over the course of the season thus far, I really have not shown the proper value for the television title. Or for very many titles for that matter, but particularly for the television title. So I decided to do a championship chase, where the winner of the championship chase will be the number one contender for the WCW World Television title against Norman Smiley. Now, after the match, as Roddy Piper won, and that meant Kaz Hayashi, who took the fall, is eliminated from the championship chase, and the Cat, Finlay, and Roddy Piper will be the triple threat match next week on Nitro, as we determine who will go to Night of the Legends against Norman Smiley for the TV belt. But either way, when we come back from commercial, Terry Funk makes his way out to the ring, and Terry Funk is here to introduce the new president of WCW. And Terry Funk starts talking as the camera cuts backstage, and we see a limo pull up, and the camera is aiming down at the feet of the individual, and you just see the guy slide the cameraman out of the way and walk right to the ring, and you hear, if you turn around and if you look at him, you're fired. But fast forward about a minute or two, and a very familiar song starts to play, and it's the song of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan is back in the WCW. And Hogan makes his way out to the ring and is joined in the ring by Mean Gene Okerlund after shaking hands with Commissioner Funk. And Hogan says, Gene, okay, fine. Let's make it different. Look here, Mean Gene. I have been gone for a very long time, brother. Because I'm not the young man that I once was, Mean Gene. Yeah, fine. And I am gonna drop that. I'm gonna drop that because it's, I can't do it. Take that for what it is. I can't do a good Hogan, is basically what I'm saying. point is, Hogan comes out, says, "I am not the president, brother. I am back because I am here to take what is mine." Nash, Hall, your fun is over. Your fun is over. And I am gonna be the one to end it, brother. Because when you're in WO, you're in WO for life. But it's time to move on from the New World Order. It's getting old. So I'm taking what I helped build back from you. Of course, we'll push it over to Bobby and Mike and let them talk about what we just heard. Does this mean that Hogan is going to try and single-handedly destroy the NWO? Well, hopefully that promo prompted some intrigue within you to see what happens next between Hogan and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and the entire NWO 2000. But also I want to say, picture this. Picture Hulk Hogan teaming up with the Nature Boy Ric Flair on pay-per-view against the Outsiders instead of Hogan with the New World Order. Picture that. Picture Hogan and Flair teaming up and the questions of Hogan and Flair, if Hogan and Flair can coexist. Think about it. Can Hogan and Flair coexist? What happens with Hogan and Flair? What happens when Hogan gets in the ring against his former friends and former running buddies in the NWO? Hopefully, that alone prompts some intrigue and interest to keep you watching. And I hope that would actually do the same for the people at home, because it's a breath of fresh air knowing that not only is Hogan not going to rejoin the New World Order, but also that Hogan is going against the NWO. So now we're actually going to get the feud that we all wanted to see between Hogan and the NWO, with Hogan being the babyface. Now to the match, Road Warrior Animal against Buff Bagwell, which plain and simply happened because I have a match for Animal at the next pay-per-view. I ain't got nothing for Buff, so Buff takes the loss because I want him to. And here's where Animal challenges Jeff Jarrett to a match, basically saying, Flair has Steiner, the Outsiders have the Harlem Heat. Jeff, I'm the only one without an opponent. You don't have an opponent. So how about me and you meet in the middle of this ring in 13 days at Night of the Legends, and I'll show you why the night belongs to us. Now we move forward. Diamond Dallas Page against Crowbar. Nothing much to this match other than this promo following the match, with DDP going up against Randy Savage in 2 weeks at Night of the Legends. Gene Okerlund comes in the ring and asks DDP what was going through his mind when Randy called him out to the ring and challenged him to a match one more time last night at Super Brawl, to renew the rivalry one more time and be Randy's last match in the WCW ring. Honestly, I know for a fact, I know how much DDP values Randy Savage and respects Randy Savage and thinks how highly he thinks of Randy, because I've seen the videos. I saw his tribute to the Macho Man. I've heard him affectionately talk about their 1997 rivalry as the pinnacle of his career and when he feels like he made it. So I would let Diamond Dallas Page shoot. I would let him shoot. I would not give him bullet points. I would not give him anything other than just to get the people interested and make them buy in and have an emotional investment once again into this feud, because this is not the same feud from 1997. This is a new feud, but with the same people and with a newfound respect. And now the main event, Ric Flair against the Total Package. And once again, much like Buff Bagwell and the reasoning behind his loss, Flair has a world title match. A world title match in 2 weeks on pay-per-view against Steiner. So Flair needs to win more than the Total Package, who may not even be at Night of the Legends. Which, yes, may be confusing considering I do classify Lex Luger as a legend. But if you don't have a match, how can you be on the show? But we shall see. There is still 13 days left, 3 different shows, 2 Thunders, 1 Nitro, because this Nitro has come to a close with our final rating of a 76, and actually no gain or loss in popularity, as we did not gain a darn thing from this show, which is good, because I'd rather not lose anything than lose something. But also I'd like to gain something, but you know, I'm happy. Either way, I'm happy. So let me know down with another show behind us. Let me know down in the comment section below. What was your favorite part of the show? What was your least favorite part of the show? What do you think you could have done better if this was you? And also, who would you like to see either compete at the pay-per-view or get inducted into the WCW Hall of Fame? Let me know all that in the comment section, because as always, feedback is more than welcomed and appreciated. But if you don't want to leave a comment, you can always leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time, later.